It's Tuesday morning, it's quite cold. We've had a lot of rain since Sunday, since I ended the last video. That hasn't washed off, obviously, you can still see it, but I came down yesterday and I traced that out onto some paper, so I've safely got that now. I also, if you can see there, measured out the distances, took a photo of that, so now I know when I go back to do that over some new paint, I get it exactly where it should be. It doesn't seem like it's perfectly centered, even though it looks like it is. Anyway, look how wet everything is. It's quite cold this morning too, I can see my breath. The other thing I want to do is go upstairs and see how that bead of silicone went that I put in up here, where it seems to be letting water get down. And what it does is I think it falls down through here onto the ceiling below us and then finds its way wherever it can drip down. Because the bus is on a slope, simply just because of the way that the ground is that I'm sitting on, it's just going everywhere. Now that looks, see, there's water sitting on there and it hasn't gone any further. This is good. Yeah. Might have done its job. Saturday afternoon, I've just finished work. Skies are looking okay. It rained this morning. I'm sick of talking about the damn weather, but everyone's talking about it in Sydney. It's just been ridiculous. 8 or 9 weekends in a row, it's been raining, and it's driving all the parents mental because they can't take their kids to soccer or whatever because all the grounds are closed. Some sporting clubs are even refunding fees because the kids aren't getting to play or even train. Everything's so wet. So that's what we're looking at. Patches of blue. There's nothing on the radar. I checked it before I left work, and tomorrow's looking okay. So even if it does rain, I've got a list of jobs I want to do this weekend. I'm going to get the bus out, get the ladder around it, and have a look at a few things. Seems to be the general consensus in the comments when I asked about that entranceway in the centre door. Should I paint it? Should I leave it? It looks like I'm going to tidy it up. Thank you very much for all your input and your comments, and also that central pillar in the upstairs front window. So a lot to do this weekend. I'm going to get stuck straight into it. Welcome to another episode of Steve Stuff. First thing I wanted to do before I go doing anything was check that fuel pump for a leak, and as soon as I walked up towards the back of the bus I could smell diesel, and I can actually see that seems to be somewhere it's dripping, but there just does seem to be moisture. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, we've got an issue. I don't know where it is. Anyone has any idea what that could be, let me know. I'll give it a wipe down now and have another look in a moment. Okay, I think I've narrowed it down under here. So this is just obviously a bracket that the pump sits on, it bolted to there. So I'm just wondering if I've got like a rubber seal or something that's failed. It would be my luck that this bus has sat around for so long without any leaks and then I get it. It hasn't got very wet since I've been sitting here for a couple of minutes. I am going to start her up though and see what happens then. So whatever the leak is, I don't think it's leaking whilst the pump is working. If you know what it is, let me know. And I'll have to have a chat to my mate Scott, he'll know. Okay, about an hour later the bus is out. I've been trying to loosen those nuts on that mirror and also to get into that door mechanism and see what's going on. I've got one stubborn screw there that I've just given a drink and a bit of a whack and possibly a helping hand. But then got stuck into the side. We've got some dark clouds, but that's not the direction the rain's been coming from. The rain's been coming from that direction, offshore, and it's looking good. There's nothing there. So I've started to give all this side here a rough sand to get it ready. I might try and get one coat on this afternoon. I don't know. I've started to mask up. I did find, I'll take you up there. Unfortunately, it didn't make me happy to find. There is a ding up here. I don't know how you'd get a ding on the offside, but there is a ding on the offside. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to bother with it. I haven't noticed it before, so hopefully with paint on you still won't be able to. So I've started to mask up. Also took this marker light off, and interestingly, Eggins didn't when they painted. They've obviously just masked around it because that's the old mandarin blue from the UTA colours. Anyway, I'm going to keep masking, and then I'll think about my next move. Sun's out, and I've masked up to there. I was going to keep going, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to get some paint along here to there. And if that's all I get done today, that's fine, because I come down early in the morning, continue to mask up that, but this back half will already be dry, so I'll be ahead of the 8 ball. I'm going to roll the dice now, get some paint on there, but I think, I don't want to stick my neck out, I think we're safe. Wind's picked up while I've been up there. Clouds are building as well, so I hope my gamble's paid off. The wind might help it dry. I'll just get it enough dry so that if it does rain tonight, it's not going to damage the paint. That'll give me a head start tomorrow, so that's good. I'm just going to keep masking now. Well, I got that masking done quicker than I thought, so going against my own better judgment and really gambling on the weather, I decided to keep painting. So I got all the way along and around to that upper flank there. Didn't go any further because I didn't want to mask up that window, couldn't be bothered. And also that front vent. It's a lot of work, a lot of rivets, but if I do the same as I did to those 2 side ones, pull it out and polish it up, when it goes back in, it'll just pop and look great. That's where we're leaving the painting today. I'm going to start packing up and put her away. Now, while I've been parked here, there has been a little bit of a couple of drips. That would have been what was causing that rainbowing in the water last week. That is fuel, but it's not much. So next time I can talk to Scott, find out if that pump needs a rebuild or if I just need to tighten up some bolts. Not really a fuel pump guy. In fact, I'm not really an engine guy. On cars, yeah, buses, no. I'm just letting her warm up, build up some air. I'm going to put her away. It's 20 past 4, it'll be dark soon. So based on your feedback and comments, this is the area I'm going to tidy up. Here, and this on both sides. All right, blend it in down there, and also this panel here. This door doesn't need it, that's the door to understair storage, but this one is cruddy compared to that and will look even worse when I do those. So they're the areas I'll do. I'll make a start on those tomorrow. Just before I go home, I'm trying to get this mirror off. I can't remember. I've got the bottom nut here off. These, I think I replaced these on 1128 with some stainless ones. There's some kind of, there's a nut at the top there, and that just will not budge. And there's another, I don't know if that's a lock nut underneath it, and then there's this tubing that the mirror is kind of hanging on. So if I can get this up, should pull it out, mirror should come away, but I just can't get that top nut to release at all. And I can't get my torch to light. Well, it's not going to happen today. I managed to get this loose. That one's going to need to be cut. If I can get this to pull out, but I can't because there's that lock nut at the top there. So it looks like it's going to be choppy. I need to take this mirror home with me to Taree. That is next weekend. So whatever I do, I've got to do it tomorrow. I reckon I'll just have to cut that top nut off and then make some sort of new bar. I can get a piece of that threaded bar in stainless, fix it that way, because I want to refurb that mirror while I'm up home. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Skies are looking good. That paint should have dried now to the point where if it does get wet, it's not going to run. I'm happy with that. I'll see you tomorrow. And then I looked over there. Please God, no. This is my kind of happy but not really very happy face. There's my sky today. And surprise, surprise, it rained overnight, quite heavily. There's a lot of water lying around and the bus is wet. All up the side panels, if you can see that there. I've been around the offside that I painted yesterday. I've been around there with the chamois. The trouble is, the very nature of the bodies of these things, there's water dribbling down from behind panels, and probably will all day. It's early, it's not 10 o'clock yet, so there's really no warmth in the air. So forecast is for no rain today. Sadly, the bus is wet, and I had a lot of things I wanted to do today, mostly painting. We'll see how we go. I'll keep drying, and I might get up on the front and take out that front vent that I spoke about yesterday up there. There's quite a few rivets there, so that'll keep me busy for a while, and then I'll check to see how dry the panels are, see if I can get a second coat on. So I've got that off. There's some very old and very stubborn rivets. The heads come off and the body stayed in, so there's quite a few of them. I'm just going to whack the tops of those off with the grinder and then pop them through. Sun's come out a little bit too. We might be okay. Most of them came out. I'll deal with the rest of them later. I'm putting it back in right now. I'll just take one last photograph with all the measurements on it, and then I'll sand it back. Start masking this front. Well, I've just been around and sanded all that. I'm just going to mask up that top stripe now, but here I was worried that that penciling would come off in the rain. It doesn't look like it had come off in a nuclear war. Well, that's the end of that tin. Sun's come back out, so let's get painting. Sad painting over that eggings at the front there. I know I'm going to paint it back on, and you can still see it faintly under the paint, so that would be handy if it stays like that under the second coat. Very handy, especially to get it perfectly placed, but I doubt it'll stick around. Anyway, it's done now. Getting a little bit ambitious because of the weather. Can you see what I'm about to do? That's the city in that direction, and there are some slight showers at the moment on the radar, just blowing over the city, and then they fizzle out before they get here. So gonna roll the dice again. Got a fair bit done. First coat, I've just stopped at the moment because that big cloud was just kind of slowly blowing over the top of us, and I just wanted to stop in case it did start to piss down with rain. So we've got some paint down to that bottom stripe. If I'm lucky and continue to be lucky, I'll get a second coat along with there. I can't do the other side because I'm pretty much effectively out of masking tape, and I'm not going up to the hardware store just to get one roll of tape. So all I got to do now is just come around the front here. I might mask up the bottom of that desto window and just complete around to that corner there. And a second coat up the top. It got pretty hairy there for a while. I'm not long, about half an hour away from getting a second coat on that. Just done the second coat up the top and first coat of below that second stripe and around the desto window. It actually did start to sprinkle, and I thought it was game over, but that's all it was. It was just a light sprinkle, nothing got wet. If we get any rain and water starts pooling up in those gutters and dribbling down the side of the bus, it'll ruin it. There's something very satisfying about removing masking tape Right, I'm done for the day. Let me show you what I've done. I'm trying to get all the ladder stuff out of the way so that every weekend I don't have to beg the yard manager to not park anything in front of me, so I can get out and get the ladder around. So nearly done with the ladder stuff. Just a little bit around the back here, but you can see there's paint there now all the way down to that bottom line. 2 coats all the way around. Still, I was going to try and get this side done, but I ran out of tape actually, and the weather's been threatening me all day, so managed to get this near side mirror off. That was a faff. And paint on the front. So we're getting there. I've got a fella here now, he needs to get in where I am, so I've got to move out of his way. But that's about it. I've got to come down through the week because I've got to grab my tools and load the ute up because I'm going home. But for now, that's all she wrote. Oh, actually, let me just show you what I've done here. So, coat of paint on the lighter colour on both sides. I'll just take that tape off and show you. I didn't go too gung-ho with it, just a couple of light coats. Just so it doesn't look odd. I didn't do this side, so I'll do the blue when I get back from home. He's going to wash now with a pressure washer, I think, so that's all the filming for the moment. Something I did try to do was get that vent back up. I don't have the right rivets. I don't have rivets with a long enough grab. I did try and get it up there, the rivets just kept pulling straight out, and I scratched a bit of paint. I'm just worried about animals or birds deciding that's a good place to nest. So I'll get some rivets this week before I go home and come down and just pop that on. So on the side ones here, all I've done is pop a rag in each side to stop anything going in there. Doesn't she look good? It's got to pop when those stripes go on. Lovely. I just wanted to show you how tight it is when I'm backing up with that shed. trying to get up in there as close as possible without catching any guttering or... She's close! Perfect! Well, that's where I'm going to leave this one, and that's the last video for a little while, because next weekend I'm going home for a week, so I'm going to miss 2 weekends. So unless I do anything interesting up there, like do something on one of the cars or something, I'll video that. And I do want to try and get out to 1138, which is that other Eggins double decker that I showed you in the last video. Here it is again. I need a couple of bits that are on that bus. The owners are really good. If I give them, you know, $100 or something, they let me go and have a pick. The trouble is, if it's too wet, it's difficult to get to where it is. You've got to cross over a creek, and if the creek's running or too high, you can't get over there. So I might go and see them. If I do, I'll video that. Otherwise, in a couple of weeks, we'll get back into the restoration of 1101. It's been a good day. I got a lot of painting done. It only sprinkled once, but it threatened to rain all day. It did my head in. Thank you very much again for watching. I'm loving the comments and appreciate all you guys, you know, watching and joining the ride. It is a ride. I've got a deadline. I've actually moved the deadline forward. I'm going to kill myself, but I'm going to try for an event that's coming up in August. See how we go. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Cheers. Let's just jump forward to the next day quickly. I got that vent in, managed to get up to the hardware, got some rivets the right length. It's kicked up a little bit on that corner there. I might have done that when I was polishing it, but it looks good, doesn't it? Now I can love you and leave you. I'll see you next time. I'm Steve Stuff.